Hey Badminton community, it's Henry and Jeff from the Badminton Podcast and BWF. We're here to bring you episode 2 of the Tokyo 2020 show. For those of you tuning in for the first time, on this show we will bring you daily updates, news updates, results, opinions, predictions, polls, and so much more. So Jeff, since we last spoke, we've had the opening ceremony and we've just finished up day 1, session 1. So what are your thoughts?
It's been pretty fierce competition, hasn't it? I mean, I'd probably say the mixed doubles is probably the most, not the most competitive, but we've had some really tough and strong matches in the mixed doubles. Of course, in the other events as well, we've seen some really good men's singles, women's singles, men's and women's doubles, but probably want to hone in a little bit on the mixed for this session.
Yeah, I definitely agree that it's really hard to look past all the matches that were played this morning. So I guess where do we even begin?
Yeah, it's tricky to know where to start because I just want to talk about everything.
Yeah,
seriously.
But unfortunately, we're not going to have enough time, fans. So we're going to hone in on a couple that we looked at this morning.
Yep. So I think one of the matches we said don't miss from yesterday was the Brits versus the French pair. It's in mixed double. So it's Marcus Ellis, Lauren Smith against Tom Jiquil and Delphine Delroux. Delphine Delroux. And that was a straight sets victory for the Brits, but I think that was like a really important one. It was really tight, but it was really important because that could lock in that kind of second position in their group.
Yeah,
in
Group B, I believe.
In Group B, lock in that second position,
Yeah, I think they were definitely feeling the pressure. Even though it was straight sets, you could see the energy that Lauren and Marcus were bringing, and even when they finally won, they were so happy about that. Really happy for them. So
What about that opening match?
That opening match, I think we said this earlier, it's quite a dangerous one opening the Olympics. So we have Yuta Watanabe, Arisa Higashino versus Christensen and Boyer. And they lost the first set. Higashino was looking a little bit shaky, to be honest. She wasn't really playing her game. She ended up at the back
rear court a lot.
Rear court all the time. But look, they managed to pull through. But it is, certainly a dangerous time that first match.
Heaps of jump smashes. Yeah. Heaps of Higashino
jump smashes, which are really cool to see. To see a woman's jump smashes is really awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think Yuta is playing pretty well. I wouldn't say he was playing the best. Like his stop drops, like his trademark shot, were
didn't do as many of them.
Yeah, I think the Danes were really ready for that.
Yeah.
I think he could have just attacked a bit more, but
it is the first match, right?
Yeah, it is the first match. He's probably getting feeling of the court, feeling of the opponents, all that kind of stuff. So I think that was a really good one. And I guess the other mixed match we're proud to talk about because we're Australian is Gronya Somerville, Simon Leung from Australia. They played Praveen Jordan and Malati Octavianti. And the Aussies won the first set, 22-20. They were down 20-14.
Right, yeah, and then they won was it?
7 points in a row to win 22-20.
Yeah.
Up in the second, 17-16, but unfortunately lost 5 points in a row, and the Indonesians won the second. And then the Indonesians took a pretty good control of that third set.
Yeah, I think Praveen sort of switched it on in that third set. I guess he's one of those ones where we said this in the last episode, right? His consistency really dictates the results of a match quite greatly. So it was good to see that the Aussies did fairly well.
So fierce competition there. Moving on to men's singles, there was Arum Mahmood. So he's in IOC's refugee Olympic team. So he's the first ever badminton player to be in the refugee Olympic team.
Yep, and one of 29.
Yeah, one of 29 athletes in the whole Olympics there. So he played against
Jonathan Christie.
Christie.
So that was actually quite an interesting match. Of course, Jonathan Christie is a very, very talented, very skillful player. So a very challenging competitor for Mahmood to face in his first round. But I think he was competitive, and at one point he did take the lead in
the second.
In the second set. Yeah, as well. And so I think I'd be pretty happy with the performance that he made. Of course, winning is important. But he didn't quite get there, but I think he did show some really great.
Yeah, I think really made the refugee Olympic team proud with that performance. First badminton player, and of course, a bit of background about him. He he moved, I think it was in 2015 to the Netherlands, originally from Syria, because of the unrest in the country there. So big moves, big sacrifices, and I'm really glad that he's able to still play badminton after dealing with these things in his country and migrating countries. And I guess speaking to a lot of the athletes that we know in the Olympic Games, in our podcast we talked to quite a few of them as well, and a lot of them have really unique stories, right? They have so many sacrifices that they make. They've got these kind of inner feelings or deeper meanings why they want to play, why they love the sport. Sometimes it's not just about the sport, loving the sport, but there's a deeper meaning behind why they actually do it and why they want to get to the Olympic Games. I think one really good example is Jason Ho Shu from Canada.
Yes, and he's playing in men's doubles as well with Neil
Nyukura.
And I think they're actually playing the daddies this afternoon.
Hendra and Asan, they are.
It's a big challenge for them, absolutely. But you were saying that Jason has had his fair share of hardships and challenges,
sacrifices,
and I guess his reasons of why he continues to play. So let's check that out.
I guess when my father passed away, it was quite hard. I didn't know if I wanted to continue badminton or not anymore. And I remember just thinking about it, it's a sport we both really loved and really cherished. I didn't want to give up on it. And I was doing quite good at the time too. So I remember I think I in his casket I buried a racket with him, and I just told myself that I wanted to see him at the Olympic Games. So I think it was my first year at university. I was doing my full-time courses, and usually I would schedule them in the nighttime because I got a job at a hospital doing IT, technology. Yeah, it was quite good. I think I worked 7 to 3. Then I would head to school right after, and then I would maybe go to training 8 to 10 at nighttime, and then wake up again at 5 a.m. So it was quite hard. I had to do homework at night too, so it was really tough. Just making sure I got a budget myself. Trying to find the cheapest flights, to go to tournaments. Like most of us usually don't stay at the tournament hotel because it's a lot more expensive than maybe some other local hotels that are just a little bit farther. We try to find those or Airbnbs. I also played in the Danish league for a season, and also use that money towards my Olympic journey.
Yeah, so Jason, great guy, really, really nice to talk to. So if you ever get to have a chat to him, you should. But yeah, great story, and I'm so glad that he could make it, and I'm sure his dad is really, really proud of him and what he's doing. So this is the part of the show where we bring on some international guests so that we can discuss what's happening in the games, their opinions and their thoughts as well. So we're really excited to introduce to you the first guest for this 2020 show. We've got Thomas and Christo Popov from France. Thomas and Christo, thanks for coming on to the Tokyo 2020 show.
It's a pleasure to have a chat to you. For those that are tuning in and aren't familiar with the Popovs, we have Christo Popov, the European Championship gold medal winner singles player, as well as playing doubles with his brother. And that we have Thomas Popov, who just recently won the Orleans Masters and Spain Masters in men's singles as well.
Yep. So first question, easy question for both of you. How have the games been for you so far? What results have you been able to see as well?
For the moment, we didn't see the match because it was during the night. So we just woke up right now, and we just seen the results. So we've seen the results from the mixed double, the French pair, and the lady single. We know that Tom and Zofin lost against Ellis and Smith from England. So we're a bit disappointed of the results. We believed that they could win, so it was a bit of the surprise this morning.
I mean, they certainly have the skills to compete against Lauren and Marcus, but unfortunately went down in 2 sets, which was a very really tight game. What about you, Thomas?
The same, because it was too early, but I think we put a lot of hope in the mixed pair. So after in the Olympic Games, we don't know what will happen in the next few days. So maybe they can go through. So we'll see. But I think they have a chance to play, and I think they will go on 100% on the next matches. So we are behind them.
Yeah, that's a good thing about the Olympics, right? Because of these group stages, if they are able to win their other matches, they can still go through as the top two pair in the group. So in terms of the other matches, there's been heaps of other matches, very, very competitive. And the one that we saw also was two sisters. So it was Gabby and Stephanie Sueva from Bulgaria. They had a really close match, 3-set match. They just lost the third set against Kim and Kong from Korea, 23-21 in the third, I believe they just lost. But we were thinking, what's it like to play as brother and sister or brothers or sisters on the doubles court together? And we thought we'd ask you, what's it like? Do you fight a lot? Is it something that's good, bad? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's like other pairs, there will be bad moments and good moments, of course. But to play men's double or women's double at a high level, you have to be like true with your partner to talk with him and to say the things very directly. So I think being brothers or sisters, it's easier to talk directly and say the real things. To woke up your partner or just to say like the truth, like come on man, just play this or play the other side, or I don't know. But it's easier to talk with a brother or with a sister on court.
There is a better connection, I think, and I think the emotion when you play with your brother, because it's your own family, so the emotion is very high. I think maybe better than with a partner who is not from your family, because it's not the same connection, the same feeling, and I think maybe the confidence rise when you play with your brother, because you have 100% confidence in him, and you know that he will do the best shot he can do, and no matter what happen on court, we're always happy and we just take pleasure.
Yeah. So if you were talking to Gabby and Stephanie Stoeva right now as a brother and brother pair, sister and sister pair, they've just lost the third set, what would you want to say to them? Or what would you say to each other if you were in that situation?
Yeah, just win the game, like.
Shit with us,
Yeah,
but
like really.
there is other matches. We know Gabby and Stephanie from very close for very close time. So because our uncle is the coach, so we know them from a long time ago. So I think they will just stay focused, and they already played Olympic Games in 2016. So they have the experience, and I think they will handle these kind of matches, and they will play really good on the next few.
Yeah, they need to keep the head up and to play the best match in the next match they will have.
Yeah, and absolutely, because I think we talked about this a bit earlier, is that because you do have the group stage, there is still opportunity for them. It is a challenging group in itself, but there is still opportunity. So we'll keep on the positive track. We won't talk too much about what the negative sides of being, part of a family partnership, but certainly the wins are just as good, if not better, than when you're not a family from the sounds of it. Now, if we change gears a little bit, guys, what we want to talk about is the men's singles category. We haven't talked too much about that just yet on our first episode and on this episode, but men's singles, coming into the tournament, we would have picked Kento Momota previously if the original Tokyo 2020 Olympics was held in 2020, but now things have changed very different. So who do you both tip as the gold medal a winner for men's singles?
I think there's a few players who have the capabilities to win this gold medal in the Tokyo Olympics. From our side, I think one of the best favorite will be Momota, because he's in the hometown, and he will just play his best badminton ever, I think. But also Victor Axelsen. He took the bronze medal at Rio, and right now I think he prepared very well, and he's ready to beat Momota.
So I think it's really hard to say who is gonna win, because the competition is like another level than the normal competition, like World Champions or HSBC World Tour. It's not the same. It's a competition apart. So there is too much level. There is too many good players. It's so dense that and with COVID, so we don't know the level of every player like Shiyuki or Chenlong. We don't know how they are now. So I think we were just it's like we bet, but we don't know how it's gonna do. But I think we are more for European players like Axelsen and Antonsen. I think they have very good chances to make some good results.
Yep. Excellent. So if we're looking at the games now, we're just on the first day. There's so much more action to come. If you were able to say something to your fellow French players, so whether it's Brice in the men's singles, Tom or Delphine or ladies singles player, what would you say to your teammates? And if you had someone outside of the French team, do you have any messages that you want to pass on to them?
Like really big good luck to them for the next matches, and make France shining like on the Olympics, and
enjoying all the time there, because it's a huge experience and it's a one life experience maybe for someone. So I think we just have to be happy to be on this stage and just play the best badminton without stress or without scares or something like that.
Yeah, and enjoy every moment on court and off court during the games.
So yeah, I think that's the message that we're gonna send out to all the players and fans that are hopefully tuning into this episode. But yeah, we do appreciate both of your time today, Christo and Thomas, for coming on and sharing your thoughts and opinions on the games so far. Good luck to France. We hope they do well. And like we said, we hope that we can turn the losses into some wins in those groups for them as well.
We hope so.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Let's go on to the do not miss matches for session 2 and session 3. So for this afternoon, which starts at 6 p.m. Tokyo time, and then tomorrow morning 10 a.m. Tokyo time, local time. So I'm thinking, for tonight's session 2, I'm thinking Choi and Seo, the Korean doubles pair.
Sure.
Of course, Seo just played the mixed doubles, got through in 3 sets.
Yeah,
but that was a really good match as well.
Tight event.
But they're playing against Aaron Chia and Soy Woo Yik from Malaysia. Now it's going to be an interesting one, I think, because I think they've lost.
They've lost the last two that they've played against them. It's actually the head-to-head is 2-2, but the last two, Aaron Chia and Woo Yik, Woo Yik, sorry, I get his name wrong all the time, but yeah, they've lost the last two against him, so I think it's going to be very interesting. Of course, So had to play mixed doubles this morning, so it's going to be interesting, like how he performs.
Energy-wise, it was a hard set as well. It was a hard 3-setter as well, so we'll see. I think that one's a really good one to watch, the men's doubles.
And that one is, just to jump in, that's at 6 p.m. local time as well.
And then 7:20 p.m. local time tonight, we've got Champion Soon Go Li Ying, Malaysian mixed doubles pair, against Tan Chun Man and Si Ying Sweet of Hong Kong. Yeah. That's an interesting one, because you'd probably think maybe the Malaysians have the advantage because of, I guess, past performance, but there was a period of time, 2018-19, where the Hong Kong pair were dominant, right? They were winning really, really big events, and
when they got to world number 2 as well. But yeah, I think the experience from the Malaysian pair at Olympics is going to absolutely help them. I think they were silver medalists at 2016, and then I think with the current head-to-head, I think the Hong Kong pair are 4-1 up.
4-1.
Maybe they're not used to playing two left-handers.
Maybe.
In those, but I think it's certainly going to be an interesting one. And then I guess with day 2, session 3. That's starting at 10 a.m. Tomorrow. We have our lovely Japanese doubles pair, Endo and Watanabe. The Great Wall of Japan is what I call them. But they're actually playing Ivanov and Sozanov. So I think that's
Great Wall of Russia.
Yeah, well, exactly right.
He's a big man.
Having Ivanov on the other side of the court, he's a scary man to be on the other side of. So that'll be very interesting. Of course, their head-to-head is actually 2-1 to the Russian.
To the Russians, right?
Yeah, the Russian Olympic Committee team. So I think it's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. But yeah, I think at the last meeting, the Japanese pair were really able to, I guess, figure out how to compete
play.
against, how to play against them. I think originally with the steep angles that comes with such height, it's just not the Japanese defense. They're so far back on the court. Usually, I think the steeper angles just were a bit of a challenge for them in the first 2 games that they lost.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit of an unconventional pair to play as well. Like the Sozonov and Ivanov. I think they are a little bit different the way they play, and I'm not sure because it's quite a slow haul, or looks like it anyway. Like defense looks relatively comfortable for a lot of the athletes and a lot of the players. So maybe they won't be able to break through the Great Wall of Japan. Who knows?
Who knows?
But,
So that one's
let's
at
check that out.
2:40 local time. And then the other one is 1:20 local time, and that is between Praveen Jordan, Malati Octavianti versus Christensen and Boyer. We've already seen some great performance from Boyer and Christensen, and then of course in that third set for Jordan Octavianti against the Australian pair, that's where they sort of turned it up a bit. So it'll be very interesting to see how that match goes as well. But speaking of, I guess, do not miss matches, Jeff, I need to call you out for the one that you did make yesterday on our last episode. Jeff said that the Chinese pair Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan versus the Thai pair Kitty Tharakul and Prajong Jai was going to be an incredible match. Do not miss match. But 16 love down in the first set said otherwise, Jeff.
Yeah, look, in my justification is because I wanted to see how the Chinese would do after not seeing them for so long. So they're up 16 love in the first set, but that just shows that they're doing really well. So that was why I was at do not miss match. But you had Kim and Kong versus Stoeva sisters, which is probably a little bit more competitive.
Much more competitive.
Bit more competitive than mine, yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure you do tune into those matches. They're what we think will be really good to watch and really competitive. But of course, it is the Olympic Games, so there's heaps that you can enjoy. And we've been watching 3 screens at once. This is amazing how much badminton we've been able to watch. It's only the first day. So let's move on to our polls. So thanks for everyone who voted for the last poll, which was yesterday. The question yesterday was, which country will win the most gold medals across all of the events in the badminton at the Olympics?
So big reveal.
Big reveal. Drum roll. We had 45% for Japan. So most people thought Japan would win the most gold medals. 25% for China, 15% for Indonesia, and lastly 10% for Korea. So thanks for voting for that. We've got our second poll today.
Yep, so our second poll question, are you ready for it? Who's going to hit the fastest smash in the Olympics? Jeff, what do you reckon?
I think Victor Axelsen is gonna lay down some bombs. I'm gonna go Victor. Big Victor Axelsen with his long arm and his whippy action, and he broke his racket doing a backhand clear. Remember that? Just snapped in half. Yeah, that whip.
I can imagine him doing that though. He does have some tutorials on YouTube as well, so if anyone wants to learn how to break a racket on a backhand, then maybe you can check those out as well. But yeah, I think I'll keep in line with the men's singles, and I'm going to go Lee Zhejiang.
Oh, Lee Zhejiang.
Malaysia
with
Bolle.
the smash. Yeah. Malaysia Bolle. Okay.
Yep, definitely.
He's got a pretty big cannon.
He's pretty
on
solid.
him.
I mean,
big cannon.
Very physically strong.
Yeah.
And like we said, performing very well recently. So we'll see.
Cool. All right, and we're up to the raise a racket part. So in terms of who Henry and I are going to raise a racket to today, we are going to go for the Aussies. Now, we are Australian, we're probably a bit biased, but that's okay. We can raise a racket to them. We're raising a racket to...
Where is my racket? I don't know.
Here, you got to raise this racket.
We'll raise it together.
Raise this racket to Gronya Somerville, Simon Leung, and that's just because they almost had the biggest upset of the Olympics.
The Olympics so far.
It could have been for the whole thing if they did win. Bad luck to them. Well done to the Indonesians. So we're raising a racket to them. Australian pride, right here, green and gold. Who will you raise a racket to? Who is your favorite badminton player? Who do you really want to share the love with as to why you watch the sport and why you love badminton?
And if you don't know how to share your love for them, make sure you hashtag Raise a Racket and use the badminton racket emoji in all your posts and comments when you do share the love for your favorite athlete, okay? Now, before we finish up, we're just gonna cover the order of play. So the next matches are gonna start at 6 p.m.
Local time, Tokyo time.
And then we're going to see tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as well.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear from us before the afternoon session or the nighttime session in Tokyo as well. So we hope you've enjoyed episode 2 of the Tokyo 2020 show, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
See you tomorrow.